Who we have here today. Can everybody see Victor?
Yes.
All right,
Hi,
cool.
everyone.
Hey, Victor, introduce yourself, my friend.
How you doing, guys? I'm Victor Ruiz. Unfortunately, my wife couldn't be here today with us. She's out on an acting job, but I'm here from Miami, Florida. I am a public adjuster and home inspector. And we joined Lifestyles in 2022.
So not that long ago.
That's right. Can't. No, not that long ago. You're right. Where are we on the slides? Are we still in the first one? Because I only see Victor and I see you, Greg. I
We're
don't
just
see any
showing. We're just showing you guys. Let's see.
Oh, cool.
Can we show them both, or no, how do you? Yeah, they're gonna figure out how to show you both.
Cool. All right, sounds good, guys. So, Victor, you joined in 2022, and
Yes.
tell us a little bit. This is your first deal, your fifth deal. Where are you at on this? Tell me a little bit.
So this is my first deal. I actually joined Lifestyles because of you. You had inspired me through everything that you did in Lifestyles to take the plunge and make the commitment and get started in real estate investing, which is something that I've inspired to do for a long time. Me and my wife have been talking about what our plans for retirement are, considering that we're both self-employed, and so we don't have a vehicle like a 401k to rely on for retirement. So we needed a plan, and when we discovered Lifestyles, we felt like this was the right way to go. And once we dove in and made the commitment, I mean, our eyes just opened up. All the education, the mentorship available, just all the resources that we had at our fingertips. That's what really convinced us.
Cool. For those that most people don't know, which Victor shared, Victor's been a friend of mine for many years, him and his wife. And
Yeah.
I don't, most people maybe don't know this fact. About 60% of people that join Lifestyles are through friends and family of members. So it's really big on referrals because people see other people be successful, and in that inner circle, they ask questions, and that's how they join Lifestyles. So him and I just had conversations, and I said, you got to go through the whole thing, my friend. You need to know the education. You got to learn it. You got to do it the right way. Him and his
Yeah.
wife did that, and we're going to be talking about the property. So I know Victor really well. I know everything about this property, but Victor's going to be doing a lot of the talking today. So let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just realized you don't have a clicker, so you're dependent upon me to click.
For those that are new here, these are all the single family mentors. Three of those are actually in Central Texas. Three are in the Houston market. Three are in the Dallas, and three are actually on the national program. Let's go on to the next slide.
That's a weird sound. There we go.
Cool. So this is Victor and his beautiful bride. Let's go to the next one. I want to be able to.
Well, I got to pause you there. So Victor and Renata are in Miami, right? So that means they're only
That's
buying
correct.
properties in Miami, right? No, where are you guys buying properties, Victor?
We bought our property in Texas because Miami is just unaffordable. Everything about it.
Any
So
particular
we
place in
found a
Texas? Where are you?
lot in San Antonio.
Oh, like right here, near where we are. You're getting applause from the whole room. So, guys, somebody from Miami is buying properties in your backyard.
That's right.
I want you to listen to him, because if he can buy it from Miami in your backyard, there's no reason you can't with the help of Lifestyles, okay? But I wanted to point. I told you, Victor, I was going to point that out. My wife and I, we used to come down to Dallas from Detroit. They would throw us up on stage because they're like, "Look, these bozos from Detroit can buy stuff in Dallas. How come you can't?" So sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
So tell me a little bit why you kind of shared a little bit already, but can you tell us a little bit more? What was the reason why you decided, you know what, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and join Lifestyles?
Well, like I was saying before, we wanted to create a secure retirement for ourselves. But not only, well, once we got more involved in Lifestyles and started learning more about real estate, it wasn't only just about retirement, but also being able to create a lifestyle for ourselves where we have the freedom to do what we love. One of the things that we're very passionate about is traveling, exploring the world, seeing different things. eating delicious foods. So with a job, with a 9 to 5, with something that you're tied down to, you can't just pick up and leave. So we want the ability to be in Spain on a beach and get on a call with one of our realtors or our property managers to discuss what's going on with our properties, rather than having to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get back at 7 o'clock every day just to be able to fund our dreams.
Cool, man. And I know one of the things you were talking about before with me was that impacted you was your starting point. So,
Yeah.
real estate. Talk to me a little bit about what you shared with me.
What I had first thought, or my first impressions of real estate was that, you needed a lot of money to get involved. But once I discovered the tools, and the vendors, the ability to use hard money, like Al was talking about earlier, it just transforms it and gives you the ability to get in with very little out of pocket. Something that, if you're diligent, and you have a strict budget, you're able to put money aside in order to invest into that property.
And we're going to show you their numbers, and then we're going to go through lots of examples this weekend. So be sure to come by.
Yeah, that was really big. Most people think you need a lot of money to start with, and the fact that you were in a position to say, I'm going to trust, I'm going to believe, I'm going to work with the mentors to be able to get there, and realize that it became fruitful for you. Now we're going to talk through it. So let's take to the next slide. I think that's where we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's always better to start with pictures than numbers. People like the pictures, so let's do that.
Yeah. So
Can we?
tell us a little bit about it. There's
Sorry,
the
just for a sec. Yeah, can we make them a little smaller now that we've seen their faces so that we can see the pictures? Sorry, we're gonna hide you guys.
That's okay. That's okay. I didn't do my hair too well today, so you're okay. You're good.
I was gonna say it looks like you have a beanie propeller over your head with the fan going.
So tell us a little bit about it. How'd you find this deal? What is it? 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. Walk me through a little bit about the home.
Yeah, so we found this deal through the email blast that we get, and I reached out to the Lifestyles Realty, and he walked me through the process of the property, gave me all the information on it, showed me the comparables, helped me understand the numbers. We were able to see what the property looked like through pictures and video. He was able to send us all the information on the property, as far as the property history and firm history, and just get all the actual what we needed, the meat and bones of the property, in order to make the right decision.
Cool. Fantastic. Let's go to the next one, because it looked beautiful before you started, right? Let's get to it.
Oh man, yeah. There was a room missing. There were 2 rooms missing flooring completely. The foundation was off. We needed to do all new appliances. It was actually a 3-1, and we ended up deciding to add a second bathroom to increase the after repair value and the rentability as well.
Cool, man. Man, you did a great job.
There we go. I gotta ask the room here. If this was your first rent property that you were going to buy, and you walked in and you saw no floor, how do you feel? A little nervous, right? But Victor has a mentor whose name is Isaac, and Isaac's helping him through this. And Victor's taking the classes that we have here at Lifestyles in addition to the 2-day, so he knows how to turn this into gold. Look at this thing. Look how beautiful that is on the right-hand side, right?
So for a lot of people that never done this, you can look at it and freak out. When you learn and you go through the education, you look at it and be like, great, they saved me some money on demo already. Right? It's the same property, you just see it different, you save some money. It's going to come off anyway, so hey, save me some money. Yeah, people are going to freak out. That's right.
The nicest thing about that flooring is, do you think first-time home buyers are going to buy that to go live in? No, so guess who you're competing with to buy that property? Only other investors. So you're taking 90% of the market out, which is why part of the reason we can buy these houses at incredibly discounted rates, and then when we put the money in, we have great cash flow and great equity capture, which we'll talk about coming up.
All right, next one.
That's beautiful.
go. So tell me a little bit about that. What'd you do in the kitchen?
So we changed the design a little bit on the kitchen. We added all new countertops, all new cabinets. We added some nice subway tile backsplash, painted all new flooring, updated the kitchen, brand new, like how we're taught, best product, best price.
It's great, man. You added that one extra piece, which is backsplash. So typically,
Correct.
I'll do maybe a little bit nicer of fans and fixtures. And the one thing that made him stand out, maybe against his other competitors, was not just stainless steel appliances, but a little backsplash back there. Good job.
Yep.
It looks really nice.
Thank you.
Next one.
So I love pictures, but my favorite thing is always the numbers. Take us through the numbers, boy. You got to move them off the screen for a minute, so we can see the numbers.
Brother. You walk them through it.
Drag them
Yeah,
off.
so we had a purchase price of $85,000. We had a rehab of $55,000. Other costs of $12,000, which were closing costs and other costs associated with it. But after everything, we had an after repair value of $202,000, which is an equity capture of about $50,000.
Now we got to pause there because some people haven't heard the term equity capture. Do you guys see the math here? Bought it for $85,000. He's got $55,000 of rehab in it and $12,000 of other costs. But the appraiser said after it was all fixed up, it's worth $202,000. That means he got $50,000 of equity for having done the work to turn this into a beautiful property. Does that make sense to you? Who would like to have $50,000? Hopefully every hand goes up. If not, we're going to have a conversation afterwards, right? All right. Sorry to interrupt, Victor. Keep going.
No, of course. And I mean, the best part about it was the cash out of pocket. We were under $30,000 in our cash out of pocket, $26,500. And I just was blown away by that. My refinance costs were very, very low because I was able to move some of those costs in because of the higher appraised value. So it was great. And then the cash flow, we're at $200 a month with a 9% cash on cash return.
How many people could go out and buy how many people could go out and buy a stock in the stock market at 1/3 of its value, basically, right? And then sell it the next day and basically get a 200% return? Anybody? No, of course you can't. But we do this all the time in single family real estate. Victor basically, almost tripled his money, right? Because whoops, dang it, I did that again. That's the button. 200% return just from having done this. Does that make sense, guys? And on top of it, he's getting 9% cash on cash return every year thereafter. By the way, rents tend to go up over time, so it'll be a little bit better next year.
So when we go through this, guys, one of the things that Victor did so wonderfully was he detailed out what was a good deal for him. And I worked through that. And determining what was a good deal for him, what was his investment strategy, he was able to hone in on what he was looking for, which is high equity, low out of pocket. And on top of that, everything has to cash flow. So he was able to cash flow a little bit while still doubling his money and pulling less out of pocket because that was important for him. So he was able to achieve his goals because he knew what his goals were and he went for it. So I'm so proud of you, man. You did fantastic on this.
Yeah, Isaac, I think that's a fantastic point too, because not everybody has the same goals. Some people are trying to focus on cash flow, so they would maybe not care so much about the equity capture. They want deals with high cash flow. So they would buy different kinds of properties than Victor did. But this property was perfect for his strategy, and working with his mentor, Isaac, he made sure that he bought the right property for him.
Yep.
We talked through the deals, guys. We had conversations before the deals. While he was in rehab, we had kept communications. We had conversations, and never once did I say, hey, I'll call your contractor. He's like, I was like, this is what you got to do. Cool, I got this. And he goes out, he did it. He monitored his rehab through the whole process. He got pictures and videos. He was able to stay on top of his rehab, talk to his lenders, and he did exactly what needed to be done. That's how he got these results.
Yep.
Any questions on those numbers, guys?
Oh,
We will go through tons of numbers like this on the 2 days so that you guys understand it. Again, my goal is that you guys could go out and start doing this for yourself after the weekend. Here we go. Why does the clicker stop working?
Click on the PowerPoint.
There we go. Thank you, David.
So you talk to me, you walk through this, Victor. How has lifestyle changed? How's your life changed since lifestyles?
It's given me the confidence to know that I can do this again. It's given me the ability to realize that I am deserving of wealth, that I'm deserving and capable of financial freedom, and that it's given me the ability to do what I love the most, and take a step back from having to grind it out every day. So I'm just very, very excited for the future and very, very excited for what's to come.
Yeah, Victor, I actually love that you said that the feeling of deserving wealth. Those of us who grew up in the middle class mindset, actually one of the biggest problems we have sometimes is we don't feel like we deserve it, especially if we're not working our ass off to make it.
Yeah.
But all of these opportunities are available to everybody who's in this country. So we're going to show you how to take advantage of them and actually have your money work hard for you rather than you work hard for your money. I love this picture, by the way. You guys are having fun, living the lifestyle.
Yep.
So talk to us a little bit about what you're wanting to do short term and then long term.
So we're trying to purchase another property before the end of the year. Like I said, we're just trying to save up so we can get our next property. And our long-term goals are to acquire, our goal is 15 properties in the next 5 years in order to cover our expenses and officially retire us.
You guys think they can get 15 in 5 years? I bet you they'll do it faster than that. They say these properties, once you figure this out and you do it once, they're like potato chips. You just can't stop. You just keep going.
Pringles.
So go ahead, walk me through who was on your team here in Central Texas.
So you were my mentor. And then I had Michael Martinez and Greg Combs in the realty department helping me find the deal and work through the deal. And then for my vendors, I had Longhorn Investments for my hard money loan, and AMP Lending, Rich from AMP Lending helped me out with my conventional lending. And I went with Greenworks for my inspections.
Cool. Let's
right.
go to the next slide.
The next slide is the next case study.
Oh, sorry.
So we're going to stop here. Bring them, make their faces big again. Victor, I want to thank you guys. Yeah, we're going to go to questions. So put their faces back on the screen. Victor, I want to thank you for sharing your story and ask the group here. And Tim, if you could help me with folks live stream. If you have a question, live stream, type it in the thing, and Tim will tell us. Any questions in the room? Yeah, Nathan.
How often did you have to come to Texas and so forth?
How often did you have to come to Texas to manage your property?
During the rehab?
0 times.
0 times.
Do you know where Texas is?
I believe it's somewhere in the South region.
Okay. Question. How long did it take to complete the rehab?
It took about 3.5 months.
3.5 months.
So he just had his money option there, like who is his general contractor? I mean, did he get the connections from those people?
So the question, there's like multiple questions here, but basically it comes down to who is your general contractor? How did they manage all the subs and other things? How did they coordinate all of that?
So I worked with Trinity Construction. They coordinated all of the subs. They got everybody together. We were on the phone daily as the project was going through. Any input that was needed, we were always back and forth working.
And one of the implied questions was, how did you find them?
That was also through the realtor. He had recommended them to us.
Okay.
Cool.
Good questions.
Something about his GC was something that if before you go ahead and use that general contractor, please reach out to the Central Texas mentors so we could talk you through a few things. Okay, guys?
Karen.
Hola, brother. Oye, socio, ¿cuándo vas a visitar a Texas? For those of you who don't speak Spanish, I spoke Spanish to him and I... Wait, what? You don't speak Spanish?
Claro que sí, voy para allá.
Vamos, Ponte las pilas. Tráeme pastelitos cubanos.
Seguirle el próximo.
Bueno, ponte las pilas.
And I promise I don't teach the 2-day in Spanish.
She should though. How you doing?
Yeah, question.
How long did it take them to find a tenant?
How long did it take you to find a tenant?
About 2 months.
Okay, so you were between rehab and tenant. Was any overlap there? Because that sounds like 5.5 months.
Yeah, we had started putting it out to rent with like the last month of the rehab.
Okay, so there's a little bit of overlap there. And but your numbers, the numbers we saw, included this several months of downtime, and I'm assuming you had some of that in your business plan to begin with, or all of it in your business plan.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of the things that Isaac and I spoke about that we need to take into account. You know, you have to have some reserves for any months that you may incur.
And I know one of the biggest fears that people have is finding that tenant. Like, oh, I'm never going to be able to rent it out. We have a philosophy and lifestyle we call best product, best price. And think about it, if you're shopping for a car or anything, if you have something that gives you great value, are you likely to buy that or one that gives you terrible value? You're going to buy the one with great value. Did you see the pictures of his house? It was great. It has new floor. Any other questions for Victor? Yeah.
For his rental property, does he have a rental management?
Do you have property management, or are you managing some of it yourself?
Self-managing.
Self-manage. Okay, that's good. I was too afraid to do that. I hired a property management company. Yeah, property management company typically somewhere in the 8 to 10%, my experience. Any other questions? Oh, I think you've answered all of them. Hey, everybody, give Victor and Isaac a huge hand. Nice job, guys.
We do have a couple online if you have time, Greg.
I'm sorry.
We have a couple online
Oh,
questions.
I'm sorry.
If you have time.
Feel free to interrupt, man.
Okay.
All right. What do we got online?
Okay, they're asking the cost of adding the bathroom and the total time on the rehab.
You guys could hear that, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the cost of the bathroom was 15, if I'm not mistaken, for the entire structure. And the rehab was 3.5 months.
Okay, awesome. And the other question is, how did you handle contractor inspections remotely?
So actually, part of the process for hard money lending is that they send out a inspector every time that you're going to do a draw. And so they do their own inspections as well as the inspections that are done through the permitting process. And we also did a final blue tape inspection at the end.
And lastly, they want to know what you're going to do with that equity capture.
Buy 2 more.
Hey, right answer. You got a lot of applause for that. I don't know if you can hear it or not. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, let's give them a hand. Isaac and Victor, thank you for joining us.
Congratulations, Victor. Wonderful job, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great one.